So we really need to talk about the genocidal and bigoted remarks coming from U.S. politicians.
$100. You're going to bomb those kids.
So I think we should kill them all, if that makes you feel better.
Driven by ancient desire to wipe out the Jewish people off the face of the earth.
Finish them. Finish them. This is not just an attack on Israel. This is an attack on America because they hate us just as much.
Now, recently, you may have heard some backlash after Republican Senator Lindsey Graham called for using nuclear weapons against the Gaza Strip, an open call for a complete extermination of the civilian population there. Yet this was not the first time that there have been comments from US officials about using nuclear weapons to mass murder Palestinians, or for that matter, overtly racist comments either. In March, for instance, Michigan's Republican representative Tim Walberg stated that the US government, quote, shouldn't be spending a dime on humanitarian aid. Instead, he said, it should be like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Get it over quick. Back in mid-October last year, Senator Tom Cotton stated that, quote, as far as I'm concerned, Israel can bounce the rubble in Gaza, arguing that whatever the amount of civilians that the Israeli military is to kill, the blame is all on Hamas. Republican Representative Brian Mast, who himself joined the Israeli military prior to becoming an American politician, wore his Zionist military uniform in Congress and went on record comparing Palestinians to Nazis. He also argued that innocent Palestinian civilians don't really exist and tried to justify killing children in Gaza on the basis of them potentially being guilty of, yes, poking Jewish Israeli prisoners in Gaza. Even Lindsey Graham himself reacted to the beginning of the war in Gaza by asserting, quote, we are in a religious war, and that Israel should, quote, level the place. Despite these comments all being repugnant examples of blatant support for mass murder, we have to understand that the overtly hateful comments are not where this sort of sentiment begins. For instance, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and the US President himself, Joe Biden, have repeatedly lied and repeated stereotypically orientalist propaganda hoaxes about what happened on October 7. Biden even lied about seeing confirmed images of babies being beheaded and later a woman and child burned alive, which we know from the facts established on the ground never happened. You see, all genocides share in common the lead-up in dehumanizing rhetoric, lies, and racist conspiracy theories about that group having a genetic or ancient doctrinal desire to do horrible things to the dominant group. We even saw elements of this arise in order to justify the war on terror, which led to the murder of 1 million people in Iraq due to the illegal invasion of that country. The mere fact that the rapid rise in hate crimes against Muslim and Arab Americans is being ignored, and at all levels of the US government there are no consequences for genocidal statements about Palestinians, and the debunked lies about October 7 are still being repeated without anyone seeming to care while Palestinians are being subjected to famine and mass murder, says everything we need to know. In fact, if you compare today's anti-Palestinian rhetoric to classical examples of anti-Semitism, you need only replace the word Palestinian or Arab with the word Jew to see that the fascist rhetoric is alive and well at every level of the US government.